What's going on, guys? Welcome back. I'm so sorry for the slowdown in content. I'm actually in a new apartment in North Carolina. I'm working at a company here in Research Triangle Park, and yeah, it's just been really hectic with the end of the semester and obviously moving to a new apartment and starting a new job, which I started yesterday. So obviously it's been really busy, but I feel bad about the slowdown in content. So this is actually my round 7 match versus my good friend Bissiges Bissbark. He's played for me in the Holy Spirits for the last 2 years, and he's a really phenomenal player. This is the 7th round of the Nugget Bridge Major, and I'm doing post commentary on this. Obviously, like this match happened a while ago and I didn't record any live commentary, but I still wanted you guys to be able to see this. I saved the battle videos, and it was a good set without a doubt. And so I do want to take a second and thank Yip Snook, who's also a Holy Spirit Keon Spy. He's a really great guy. He's really talented in like a bunch of ways, and he's a really good artist. So he made this new layout for me. Obviously, I'm still messing around with it. I kind of want to show the bottom screen in some other videos, but in a video like this, the bottom screen just says like play. So we don't need a bottom screen right now. So that's why we've got this new layout. Yeah, so this is the 7th round of Nugget Bridge Major. At the time, both Bissiges Bissbark and I are both 5 wins, 1 loss, and this is the first game. So we're just gonna go ahead and jump right into it. Bissiges Bissbark is a player from Austria. He's really talented. He's only a senior, and he placed in the top 4 at Worlds last year. And he's got some good nicknames. And yeah, he's known for using some cool teams, especially this. Like in the past, he's used Pokemon like Blastoise and Stoutland, obviously as his name says. But in this situation, we've got him using, especially this season, a lot of Rayquaza and Xerneas. So double birds from Bissiges Bissbark. I'm again using this double mega, double primal team. Actually, it is double mega, double primal. And Maxie's going ahead and using his Rayquaza, Xerneas team. He's got Smeargle on here. He's got Crobat, Infernape, and Ferrothorn, I believe. And there might be one more Pokemon that I'm blanking on, but that's okay. We're going to figure it out. So Rayquaza goes ahead and Mega Evolve. We both Mega Evolve. Maxie doesn't have any other Megas on his team, so that's not super surprising. And Rayquaza does go for the Protect here. And Crobat goes for Tailwind. Obviously, Rayquaza is a really threatening Pokemon, and you don't really want to be facing off against it if you don't have the speed advantage. But I do predict that Tailwind, and by Mega Evolving my Gengar here, I am actually able to predict that Tailwind, Protect, and go for Icy Wind and Encore. And the Encore is really important here because now Crobat isn't able to use Taunt or Super Fang to really threaten my Pokemon. So, I would like to say that although I have made a good turn 1, that Rayquaza is still super threatening. So, I am going to go ahead and switch my Raichu out into Kyogre, hoping that he doesn't target my Raichu down, because Kyogre and Gengar both in here are good because they both have Ice moves which threaten Rayquaza. We've removed Mega Rayquaza's Delta Stream, so now Rayquaza is going to be 4 times weak to Ice. This is going to be the second turn of Tailwind, so I do Protect here with Gengar, and that's with the hope that he Dragon Ascents or Draco Meteors into my Gengar, but he does go for the Extreme Speed actually, which is actually really problematic because thankfully it wasn't a Dragon Ascent, but it still does like a remarkable amount of damage, and he does reveal that he is Life Orb, but again, Crobat is forced to use Tailwind, and so this turn, I just say I need to get rid of this Rayquaza. I'm willing to take this trade of one of my Pokemon for one of your Pokemon, so we're like, let's just see what happens, and he does go after Gengar, which I think is a good move because allowing me to get an Icy Wind off would be really brutal here. That's the 3rd turn of Tailwind that we just burnt. Crobat probably will end its Encore soon. Rayquaza does reveal no more information except that it has Dragon Ascent, but given that it Mega Evolved, that's not really surprising. And Kyogre goes for an Ice Beam, which is definitely good because this Rayquaza does so much damage, and without consistent Intimidate like on the field, Rayquaza is just going to sweep through my whole team. So he actually is still locked into Encore, I believe, unless it ends after switching in, but I don't believe it does. And we will both send in our Fake Out Pokemon here, but because of Tailwind, his Infernape will outspeed my Raichu. And so because he doesn't have Groudon, the fact that my Kyogre is able to exert so much offensive pressure is really significant. But BCG makes a good move here and brings in his Xerneas. And Xerneas is a super threatening Pokemon, obviously, if you let it set up. Thankfully, he didn't get the same turn in as his Infernape, but he does make a really good move here and go Fake Out into my Kyogre. And I go Fake Out into the Infernape just in case he decides not to Fake Out my Kyogre. Break its Focus Sash, but not obviously gaining a ton of position because now this Xerneas is super threatening and I don't have anything that can really threaten it. So he does switch out his Infernape into his Crobat and goes for Protect on Xerneas. So this turn I go for the Volt Tackle into Xerneas, trying to get some damage off, and also Scald into Infernape actually. Probably my last mon is Groudon at this point if you were Bissiges. I don't want to reveal any real information. So although I am up 3-2 at this point, the fact is that he can Fake Out my Raichu, which is super good. That was a really important play on Bissiges Bissbark's end, because now I can't Encore that Xerneas. If I'd been able to Encore the Xerneas here, it'd be really significant. And it was also a really smart play, because even if I doubled into the Xerneas, it wouldn't have been like it wouldn't have been a guaranteed win for me, because then he could still just taunt my my Raichu. So either way, he was getting into a situation where he gets a pretty safe Geomancy up with his Xerneas, and yeah, so he gets the Geomancy up here. He does fake out my Raichu, burning that Encore, and with Kyogre, I am going to go for the, let's find out, Water Spout, which actually is pretty risky if he'd Moonblasted, because I was trying to get rid of this Infernape, and then also get like a tiny bit of damage onto Xerneas, but that actually, it does do a significant amount with Water Spout, significant given it's +2, and I'm damaged Kyogre, but now he's in a situation in which he has a Xerneas that's like boosted and really threatening, and he does do a good job of scouting for my Protect here. So he does burn my Kyogre to Protect, and yeah, Raichu obviously was just trying to go down there, but I wanted a situation in which I had obviously not I wanted Kyogre next to my last Pokemon, which, as we find out, honestly I'm not sure if this crit matters here. Didn't run the calcs, not sure what his spread is. I'm pretty bulky Kyogre, but I think there's a chance he probably could have KO'd. I'm just not super familiar with Xerneas calcs, and as probably you expected at this point, Groudon does come in. And so even though the situation looks pretty nice, it actually isn't, because Xerneas can Dazzling Gleam, take out Raichu, do a lot of damage to Groudon, and now it comes down to whether Dazzling Gleam plus Moonblast KOs Groudon, which it probably does, because it basically, unless Maxie isn't running a ton of special attack, which he probably is given his team, given how much his team is set up, we could probably expect it to max special attack. So he does Dazzling Gleam here. Raichu fails to Protect because I was trying to force him to have to use Dazzling Gleam again next turn, or Moonblast, so that Fire Punch plus Volt Tackle could KO. And I go for the Fire Punch, knowing that it's to come down to Moonblast KOing here, but although I don't KO with Fire Punch, I do get the burn. So this game is going to conclude with a burn on that Xerneas. And yeah, that's game 1. I'll upload the other games soon. I have to run right now. My DS is actually almost out of power, so I'll go ahead and end this episode. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoy this content, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I have a lot of really cool ideas for the channel, but I don't have a ton of time right now, so I'm hoping to kind of like get into that like in the future. But thank you guys for watching. I will upload games 2 and 3 pretty soon, and I will see you next time.